The Siege of Leningrad, 900 Days of Resistance, explores one of the most harrowing episodes of World War II, where the city of Leningrad, modern-day St. Petersburg, endured nearly 900 days of encirclement by German and Finnish forces. The result was an unprecedented level of suffering and resilience. Prelude to Siege. The story begins with German forces advancing towards Leningrad as part of Operation Barbarossa. Blocks of ominous clouds create an atmosphere of impending doom. Through a mix of strategic decisions and chaotic scenes, the city finds itself slowly surrounded. Declaration of war. Waves of stunned disbelief spread through Leningrad as Soviet radio broadcasts announced the official state of war. Families huddle by their radios, understanding the gravity of the situation. Construction of a Leningrad line. In response to the German encirclement, citizens and soldiers engage in feverish efforts to build fortifications. Scenes of workers, students, and the elderly all digging trenches and building defenses highlight the unity and resolve. The closing circle. German and Finnish forces complete their encirclement, tightening the noose around Leningrad. The encirclement leaves the city isolated, with residents expressing both fear and determination. First winter of the siege, the bitter cold set in, with temperatures dropping to lethal degrees. The narrative details the scarcities of food, warmth, and other basic necessities. Yet despite the struggles, the spirit of Leningrad remains defiant. Cultural defiance. Within this tragedy, the city's cultural institutions refuse to succumb. The Philharmonic Orchestra performs Shostakovich's Seventh Symphony, becoming a symbol of resilience and morale. Adapting to starvation. Detailed accounts of severe rationing of food, with bread made from sawdust and any available flour substitute. Citizens' inventive methods are depicted as they strive to stretch their meager provisions. The role of the ice road, dubbed the Road of Life, the ice road across Lake Ladoga becomes a critical lifeline. Scenes depict perilous journeys over unstable ice with trucks attempting to deliver food and supplies to the besieged city. The bombardment. Constant bombings pound the city, destroying infrastructure and causing countless deaths. Vivid portrayals depict civilians taking refuge in makeshift bomb shelters and trying to protect what remains of their homes. Medical frontline. Medical staff works tirelessly despite the shortage of supplies and exhaustion. The narrative focuses on the bravery of doctors trying to save lives in impossible conditions. Propaganda and hope. Soviet propaganda infiltrates daily life, communicating messages of hope and unity. The resilience of the citizens is underscored by the reassurances that their sacrifice is vital for the larger war effort. Tales of heroism, highlighting individual stories of heroism, as ordinary citizens perform extraordinary acts to help each other survive, demonstrating the human capacity for empathy and solidarity. The bitter second winter. As another harsh winter entrenches, desperation grows. The tedium of endless waiting is punctuated by bursts of hope coming from unexpected quarters. Children of the siege. The narrative focuses on children who have been forced to grow up quickly amidst the chaos. Their play becomes gritty, yet imaginative, as they adapt to a war-torn world. The underground movement. Resistance groups form within the city, attempting sabotage and using clandestine radio transmissions to inspire hope within and beyond Leningrad. Tending to the dead. Funeral processions and grave digging become a daily part of life. The story sensitively covers how families cope with loss in the face of overwhelming mortality. Artistry and adversity. Artists find ways to document the siege through powerful artworks, echoing the collective anguish and spirit. A painter's brushstroke becomes a visual record of courage. Pioneers of industry. Local factories manage to continue producing essential goods under duress. Their efforts symbolize the unbroken industrial might and tenacity of the Leningrad people. Across the enemy lines, some residents make daring attempts to escape, choosing perilous routes over certain starvation. Each step into enemy territory underscores the risks taken for a slim chance of life. Messages from the front. Letters from soldiers infuse both hope and heartache. Family correspondence reflects the intimate struggles and determination to survive until reunion. Cryptography and codes. A glimpse into the sophisticated use of cryptography within the city's communication networks, emphasizing intelligence efforts to coordinate with Soviet command. Desperation incarnate. Intensified narratives of despair as starvation claims lives. The dark temptations of desperation bring community bonds and moral struggles into focus. Nature's wrath and refuge. Harsh landscapes and wildlife, both a threat and a blessing, are depicted as they play a role in the city's survival attempts. The relentless spirit of youth. Account from young guerrilla fighters whose youthful zeal blends with desperation to protect their home. Breaking bread together. In heartwarming scenes, shared meals offer solace and breeding ground for camaraderie amid hunger. March towards liberation. The story shifts tone with Soviet offensives mounting. Plans for breaking the siege influence both strategic command and civilian whispers. Betrayals and revelations. Suspected collaborators are exposed, revealing the shadowy side of desperation where betrayal becomes a survival technique. Faith in darkness. Spiritual movements sustain hope for some. The narrative examines religious services held secretly, boosting spirits in the darkest days. Final Assault. The orchestration of Operation Iskra marks the beginning of the end for the siege, with vivid descriptions of the battle that ultimately goes in favor of the Soviets. The moment of relief. As the blockade finally lifts, scenes capture the collective euphoria of the city's liberation. Weary faces light up, realizing the nightmare is over. Reflections on resilience. Survivors offer anecdotes and reflections about how their determination was their beacon. They articulate lessons learned and the human capacity for endurance.